Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, Evil Dungeon Master channel here on YouTube. Hopefully you're having a great day. I just want to talk a little bit today about the channel and about some tips about getting people to play other games other than Dungeons and Dragons. First of all, you can see that there are two podcasts on this channel other than myself, the Go On Man podcast and Thackle Thoughts with Rob, which is an AD&D second edition podcast with a sprinkling of other little things in there where Rob goes over various topics. So if you want to do a podcast as well and you're interested in using this platform to help uh, press up your podcast, by all means, I'll help you out. If you have an idea for your podcast and want to talk to me about it, you can go ask the DM at evildm.com and we can discuss it and we can get you going. Anyway, for today, I want to talk a little bit about getting your group to play something other than Dungeons and Dragons. I know for the longest time I had a problem doing that with various groups when it came to playing Dungeons and Dragons. All they wanted to do was play Dungeons and Dragons, and any other game was just like, man, it's not Dungeons and Dragons. And they always dragged their feet. So a lot of times what you need to do is do a lot of... Let's back up for a second. My first tip for getting people to play a different game is when your group meets and somehow there are some players out. People love to role play. People love to game. So if there's a chance that you and your group can play minus a few players, this is a good opportunity to introduce a different game. Have some pre-written characters ready to go and the dice ready to go, obviously, if people don't have that much dice, and lay it out for them. So tonight we're going to play this just as a one-shot because John and Susie are missing for the game this week. Most people will be like, all right, cool, at least we're still playing, whatever. And when you play that game, focus more on the storytelling aspect of the game and try to do more of the rolling yourself and slowly introduce the rolling system to them as they're playing. Explain the character sheets as situations come up, and the players will probably get more focused on the game and into it. When I first started playing Marvel Phase Rip with my group years ago, I slowly introduced them into the game and brought more mechanics into the game as people got more comfortable playing the game. I would focus more on the story aspect of playing Marvel villains, because they were villains, as opposed to superheroes. And as they got more into the game, they started doing more things and wanting to learn more about the system until they started reading the book and figuring out ways to do things in the game. There's other things like if you want to play a 2d6 game, like a tiny d6 game, most people will be pretty interested in that game because it's only a simple mechanic of two six-sided dice to roll, and generally people will be fine with that. When it comes to probably getting people with D&D, you're going to have to really sell it. I know a few people that are gamers that I work with that their group will play nothing but Dungeons and Dragons. And I feel bad for the guy because he wants to play other games. But anytime they just say no. And I said to try to do a one shot. Maybe roll up some characters and just try to do something different. Maybe it's a sci-fi game, sell it as a sci-fi game with D&D. Like Starfinder, for example, is basically D&D in space. Similar rules to Pathfinder, if you play Pathfinder, so you don't have to worry about learning a new system, and sell it that way. Find something in your group that players like and latch onto that. Like some people in my group love Supernatural. I love Supernatural. The TV show was pretty cool. But they like playing supernatural games. So what I did was I took Mini 6 and I translated that into a supernatural environment game where I now have 4 players playing that, and they're really enjoying it because they like the story, they like the system. But before they were kind of like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, that's cool, I'll play. I mean, So, So it's easy to do that. Since they really enjoy it, they're having no problem playing it. If somebody enjoys, say, Battlestar Galactica, or they enjoy Star Trek, Try to get that person on your side. Talk to them about playing a Star Trek game and maybe selling it to them and helping them as a player sell the rest of the group. That sometimes does work. There's a lot of little things that you can do here or there to get people to really enjoy the game. And I know people really do hate learning new mechanics, especially if you're playing the game and then you're a D&D player, and then you're going to go play another game, which is a completely different system, and then you're going to want to go back to D&D. There's not a lot you can do about that, and I like to play games in between playing D&D. D&D is always my go-to game. I love Advanced Dungeons & Dragons First Edition. That's my go-to game. And other games that I play, I call them games to just refresh the palate. So we're playing Starfinder right now. We may go back to fantasy afterwards. We'll probably play Call of Cthulhu for a little while. And these are what I call palate refreshers. Because if your go-to game is Dungeons & Dragons and you really love Dungeons & Dragons, you're going to get burnt out on it. You can't go campaign to campaign to campaign to campaign. Sure, you can keep playing a campaign for as long as you want, but generally you get burned out on it. And a lot of people just around that 6th, 7th level start going, and they get a little bit tired of it. Play other games in between to recharge your D&D batteries, is what I always say. Recharge those batteries, make you really want to go back to the other game that you were playing. So yeah, you play these other games just to recharge your battery, to experience different things in your gaming career, so to speak. I've been gaming for probably, 35, 40 years. I don't know how many years at this point. So many years now that I played so many games. But I was like the people who just wanted to play D&D, and that's all I wanted to play, too. To the point that I was just like, okay, now I need to try something different. And I learned this a long time ago at a young age, that don't limit yourself. And like I said, palette refresher games. Play a bunch of games, different mechanics, so you can compare and see things. It also helps you as a game master by looking at other systems and seeing other mechanics and how you can bring those things into your games. Maybe there's a horror mechanic inside Call of Cthulhu that you like. You bring that into your D&D game. Maybe there is an honor mechanic that you like and you want to bring that into. Maybe there is some type of this or that or point system or drama point system you like. You could bring that into your D&D campaigns as a house rule. It gives you a lot of variety when you switch from game to game. Tell me what you think in the comments below. That's my advice basically on player engagement and changing from D&D. Hope you found something good for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment below. You can support this by joining the channel for 99 cents a month, get access to videos ahead of time, and a weekly stream for the members only, where we play a game for you and you get to interrupt and tell us what to do. With that said, I'm going to head out. Keep it original, keep it old school. Good night, God bless, and keep those gaming fires lit. Good night, everybody.